Babysitter's time.
Have you ever watched a mystery kind of movie, or where they're trying to find somebody that's missing and they discover them through, I don't know, ice cream theory? Well, you're gonna find that in this film, The Wrong Babysitter. This is one of those movies that I'm sure is an objectively bad film, but I can't get enough of it. This is hilarious. I'm going to watch this again. This film is so idiotic. I love it. There's like real nuggets of ideas here that I can work with that are like, oh, dude, okay, cool. But then there's just a lot of things that are like, what? For real? Like that's what comes quite a bit in The Wrong Babysitter. So I'm gonna make a video on this for the Rookie Critic channel, definitely, and I am certainly making this one for the Damsel History channel that I run as well. Let us start from the very beginning. We start by following, there's this girl walking home from school, you could assume. There's a couple of people following her. I'm gonna call them Goon Guy and Goon Girl because I don't feel, there's like Kendra and somebody else, but I don't feel like talking about their names. It'll get confusing. So they're following this girl, Ashley, walking home, and a really bizarre, they pull over and she asks the girl, hey, do you know where the vet is around here? I need to pick up my dog before they close. And immediately the girl's, she tries to give an answer to where it is, but honestly, that structure right away is a weird way to ask, because if you already dropped your dog off at the vet, don't you think you'd know where it is? You gotta go pick up your dog from the vet. Obviously, she doesn't have a dog, and they're not going to the vet. This is just she's distracting her while the Goon Guy goes around and chloroforms her and puts her in the trunk. But just still, this is the conversation that is supposed to distract her, and it's so stupid, but it's funny in a way. I don't know why. I find it a little bit funny that it's like this dumb. With this, she's like, yeah, I need to pick up my dog at the vet. I don't know where it is. Can you help me? And the girl's like, okay, and trying to help. And she gets kidnapped. They go switch cars, go to a van. Their car is really shitty, by the way. These guys don't seem like they're professionals, really. That's why I'm calling them goons, because they're essentially goons anyway. And they go to the cabin they're supposed to, and the girl, they didn't bother restraining her in any way. They just put her in the van while she was knocked out. She wakes up. As soon as they open the door, she, boom, kicks it open, knocks the dude down, makes a run for it for the forest, and the Goon Girl's like, get up, go get her. And he's like, okay. He gets knocked down like 5 or more times in the film. I assume it was like a running gag they're trying to do. But they go after the girl. She is not able to really get away. He's got a gun. And he's like, all right, that's enough. Come out here. We're not trying to hurt you, but come on. And they grab the girl. The Goon Girl grabs her from behind and accidentally. This struggle is so stupid. Like, she just sort of grabs her. Ashley just goes like, and then she is like thrown, but not really, just kind of falls over and rolls around and smacks her head on a rock, and she is dead. They accidentally killed the girl they're trying to kidnap, so they go and ask the guy's sister, Terry, and she's also the neighbor to this girl, Christy, whom is our main character here. Her dad was a cop or a detective, and he was killed a while ago while trying to investigate some kidnappings. Ergo the two goons at the beginning. And Terry, across the street, is going to be babysitting her in this. I'm skipping some details here because I go into far more better detail in the videos that I've already pretty much started working on for covering this. So this is just, we're running you through a little bit quicker with the details to get you my reaction the first time I saw this, because this one is just ridiculous. But again, I freaking love it. So Terry, the sister to the guy Goon that's doing stuff, she is the neighbor to Christy. She's also like an administrator, or she's somebody that works high in the school system for the neighboring school, I suppose. And she also is going to be called to babysit Christy, of whom Christy's like gotta be at least 15, if not 16, 17, almost 18 years old. But I guess I get it. When they're under 18, you gotta have an adult nearby, sort of. I mean, a little different depending on the household, I suppose, on how you're raised. But all right, she seems old enough to take care of herself. But whatever, almost able to drive. But whatever, babysitter under 18, I guess that works. And the mom is like she's like an artist, and her job itself doesn't make that much money, but her sculptures that she makes sometimes does. Her boy toy that she wants to be banging with. I guess she's dating in the film, but doesn't really get that vibe. Looks like they're trying to date, but because getting over the death of the dead cop and everything, and the dead detective, they're gonna go off on a trip, and they discovered in like the room of the detective there was a little bit more information that might help them figure out who was behind all the kidnappings before. But this is they're going on their little trip first, and Terry comes over and she sort of investigates a little and tries to cover up anything. And the goons that effed up the kidnapping in the beginning, they weren't supposed to. They were supposed to all just kind of stop kidnapping for a while because they got too close to being caught and they had to kill the guy. I'm spoiling shit for you with this, sorry, totally. But they got the files, and she got files. She's trying to cover this thing up all the way, and they had just killed a girl. She's like, fucking idiots, what are you doing? You're making this ridiculous. You did this without my instructions. She's like the leader of these two goons essentially, and she invites them over so that she can deal with them. But she assumes that Christy is just going to be in her room playing music or something, just going to be alone. But no, she answers the door when they're there, and then she comes down, and the goons are so ridiculous. They're like, hi Christy. They just greet her as Christy. She's like, you know my name? It's like, oh yeah, we know a lot about you. Like talking very creepily. She's like, what? That's weird. And then she like looks down. She's like, oh, that's my dad's files. What do you have those? And she grabs those, and then, or no, she doesn't grab those yet. But the guy just assumes, the goon guy just assumes, oh, she knows everything. So he just tries to chloroform her right then and there. And the babysitter's like, what the hell are you doing? Like Terry's like, what are you doing? Because that's like, you didn't need to do this. You just completely outed yourselves now as being kidnappers, when before, like, you could have talked your way out of whatever situation in some type of way. But no, you just fully went to, kidnap mode and try to kidnap her. And it's like, what the fuck? And, so Christy tries to, she's able to get away from him for a sec, snag the files and hide in the house. And so they got to look for her. And, I forgot to mention, before this point, there was ice cream in the fridge, and the mom was trying to have some, the daughter was trying, whatever, they like ice cream. She mentioned some crap about ice cream temperature. I don't remember specifically, but something about ice cream temperature keeping just whatever. And she was eating ice cream, mint chocolate chip ice cream, by the way. And when she answered the door and she set that down, the goon girl notices, oh, mint chocolate chip, or whatever. And it's like, okay, this is not really relevant, but it's relevant. Don't you worry, this is totally relevant. They kidnap Christy, and they're gonna take her to the van. They're essentially gonna kill her, is the idea here. Terry, the ringleader to all this thing, and the school administrator and all that, she's trying to cover up loose ends here because it's another person, and the daughter of the person that they had killed before, when he was getting too close with all this, and so okay, that's not good. And I'm very confused on the character of Christy, because I thought that she was supposed to be like what I got the impression of, because before she got kidnapped, she like left a little clue as to she definitely got kidnapped, and left her phone on, and she called her mom, which she probably should have called the cops, but whatever. She's leaving a clue for them so they can hear the audio of the struggle essentially as she's getting kidnapped. I assumed that she was more willingly getting kidnapped so that she can fudge up the goons and try to really discover, get some hard evidence that these are the kidnappers and the people that killed her father, so that she can put this case away, put these people away, and have that kind of thing, justice dealt with. But no, because she also seems like she is really scared, like she's not playing, like she is freaked out and trying to get out of this alive. So I was a little they made it seem like she's the Nancy Drew or something, the Scooby Gang, the investigator, detective, whatever. She's gonna fudge up these goons and figure out what's going on. But then she's supposedly really scared, and I just wasn't sure what they really wanted to have with her being a smarty pants girl. Speaking of smarty pants, she wears a hat that says teen angst. Sorry, so I guess she's not really supposed to be a smarty pants. I don't know. They contradict a little bit with that. And the goons, anyway, I got speed tracked through this because this is just you got, the videos that I make will be more in depth with with what happens here. My reaction here doesn't mean as much, I would say, compared to the videos I'm going to make, because this is I'll be able to show the clips and what happens and how ridiculous this all is. Anyway, the mom goes home and finds out that the daughter is missing. That's not good. Trying to look for her. What happened? The babysitter was there. Where what happened with that? There's a story that they do with the cop that's trying to figure this out and everything. He's trying to solve this as well, but the mom does not have much faith in him because he didn't find the kidnappers before, didn't find the killer of her husband and everything. So yeah, she's got doubts in this. So the mom essentially is, I guess, the Nancy Drew. She's the detective in this one that's gonna finally solve the case, and she's gonna find her daughter and everything. And the goons are trying to deal with Christy. They put her in their little safe room, and Terry tells them to finish her off there, and they're like, okay. But Christy is able to, again, sort of use some wit and convince them that she's worth a lot of money, and that the mom is willing to pay a lot of money. So do a little video, and then you're probably gonna get some money. Just don't kill me, and all that is the idea. So I'm like, all right. So she's for it, but then she's like bawling in tears again, but they're not real tears. So I'm like, is she like faking crying, or is she trying to cry? Is she like, I was confused on what they really wanted to go with her. What did they want to do with this character? I don't know. The goons are trying to set this up, and she ends up being able to somewhat escape. She's able to go on the run. She doesn't fully escape. She's able to run through the woods as well. And then she sees the van is parked, and so she's gonna try and hijack the van without the keys. And the goon girl was waiting for her, and knocks her out again. And it's like she's like bees to honey. It's like, it's just freaking. You should just kept on going, but you didn't. I understand wanting to take a vehicle, but you don't have the keys to the vehicle. So what are you fucking doing? I don't know. They make some moves in the film that are that seem smart, but then are actually pretty stupid when you think about it. That's how I describe the film. There's things that seem smart and that probably are smart, but then are stupid on how they execute it and what they have follow, and how they get there. That's how the movie is. But that's some part of why I like it, I guess, because it's ridiculous. But it's it could have been even better, but it was it was ridiculous though. The mom is investigating stuff as best she can. She ends up following a trail, goes to a gas station that they stopped at, or that the police already talked to and everything, and she's able to figure out, and you're like, oh, did she buy ice cream? What kind of ice cream did she buy? Mint chocolate chip. Oh, that's her favorite ice cream. And there was a note in the outhouse. What did it say? Teen angst. Oh boy. And there was the same ash or dust or whatever, dirt that was in the driveway, and that was there. She's been in the woods. She recognizes it from the woods. She goes to the woods with the guy as well. He's got a gun. He ends up getting knocked out stupidly with how he approaches it. She ends up saving him though, running them over essentially, and they're able to get Christy. The movie is very, very odd. The cop, he concludes after listening to the tape a few times, the recording that Christy left, and through the interview that he had with Terry, that, oh no, she might have orchestrated this whole thing. So he goes to confront her by himself, and it's just like, hey, I think you probably might have done this. And she's like, oh yeah, huh? And then shoots him, and you assume he's dead. He lives, but he could have just died right there, and he could have stopped her right then and there. But no, she's able to cause a little bit more trouble. But it's like, it just, that cop, really, really dumb. Oh, brilliant idea for coming to the conclusion of her. Sure, wow, took it long enough, but okay, you did. And then you approach her, and you're just so unprepared that she could have a weapon to try to attack you. When you cornered her with the stuff, with the evidence, it's like, oh, that was brilliant. And you didn't tell anybody, you didn't have any backup things. Nope. Her plan was she shot him and was going to frame him for the whole kidnapping stuff, to try to put it all to bed with him as the guy, have that done so that it could be all framed that way. And probably would have worked. Probably could have worked because of how dumb that the police and detectives were handling everything. But yeah, man, I don't know. This movie was excellent, little fun. It's on Amazon. With ads. I don't know why I keep on making the sign with my hands as I talk. I don't know. It's just what I'm doing these days. I'm very talk with my hands more now that I notice it these days. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna make a video or two on this film because it is hilarious, and I gotta show you the clips, you guys. The clips are hilarious. You know, just that's all I gotta say. So just have a good one, okay? Have a good one. Have a good one.